When you buy electronic items at the thrift store, they often have a sticker like this one that says, as is, no exchange, no refund. And even if they don't put a sticker like this on the electronic item, well, good luck getting a refund if the item is defective. Now, at some thrift stores, you can test items out. There's a place to plug them in. But often with battery-powered stuff, you can't test them out at all. Well, I buy stuff like this. In fact, I have 10 untested electronic thrift items that I'm going to be checking out, and I'm going to turn it into a game where you can play along too. That's coming up on Risky Thrifting Volume 7. Before you're going to guess to see how many electronic items are going to work, well, it might as well be a somewhat educated guess. So before I test these 10 items, let's see what I'm going to be looking at. Here we have an Insignia brand portable CD player. Blue tags were half price, so this actually cost me only $2. These devices tend to have a fairly high failure rate. If there's a date on here, it's being covered up by this as is sticker, so I'm not sure exactly how old it is. In order for me to say this works, it's going to need to be able to play a CD through headphones, and I'll test the line out too, and there's the volume. This is a Samsung Blu-ray Player. Date on it is 2007. It looks a lot like the new ones that they're still making, so I'll be curious to see if it'll play. Now, I don't have a remote for it, but I do have another Samsung remote, and I could also try a universal remote. Oh, and in this case, green tags were half price, so this only cost me $3.50. All right, here we have an educational device, and I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to test it yet, but it is an Audiotronics Tutorette 800B. What you do is you slide cards through here, and it'll play little pieces of audio related to what's on the card. I don't have any of those cards, so I'm going to have to figure out how to test the little playback head in there some way or another. There's the volume. I am only going to be able to test to see if I can play back something. I'm not going to try to use the record feature, at least until I get some of those cards. And I'm not going to buy any of those cards till I know this works. Here is a Sherwood graphic equalizer. I don't even know how many bands it is. We'll see if it works. Here we have a Netgear Wi-Fi USB adapter. It does have AC dual band technology, so if this works, this is going to be a useful device. Okay, here we have a Rocketfish 2-output HDMI splitter. It says it's 4K capable. But when I got into the box, not only is there a splitter in here, there's also an Amazon Fire Stick. So this is two items I'll be testing out. This HDMI splitter and this Amazon Fire Stick. And the Fire Stick does not have a remote, but I do have a Fire Stick remote, so I'll be able to test this out. This is an AT&T answering system in the box. Now, I do have a landline. I might not have them for much longer, but I do have a landline, so I can test this while I still have a landline. I don't even know if this is in this box. We'll find out. This device has been on my save for later pile for a long time, but I might not have a landline for much longer, so I better test this out while I still do. This thing lets you insert an RCA line level audio signal into a phone line for when people are on hold. It is in this blister pack. It looks like it's never been used, so we'll see how it does. Here we have the luckiest thrift find I have found in recent weeks, assuming it works. It's Dell brand. This belonged to Hardin-Simmons University. Here are all the inputs, and you got a lot. You got composite, you got audio, microphone input, S-video in, VGA, VGA out, and it has HDMI input. Looks like I can plug it into a computer as well with that USB. There is no remote for this, but I'll get it going somehow. There is no power cable, but I have plenty of these type of power cables. It does have some mounting gear here that I Might remove because I'm scratching up my table with these screws here. Now that you've seen the items being tested, it's a good time to take a guess. You can tell me how many items you think will work, or you can be specific about what you think will work or won't work. I invite you to pause the video and write in the comments right now. My guess, 7 of the 10 items will work. Let's find out. Okay, let's start with this CD player. I want to get into the battery compartment here. There are some old batteries in here. Sometimes battery corrosion can kill these things. I don't see any evidence of corrosion here. I haven't had any copyright issues with Bakerton Group, so that's why I'm picking this CD. On-off switch doesn't seem to be doing anything. Says it'll take 4.5 volts input, and even with the external power supply, I'm getting absolutely nothing. So we're off to a pretty bad start. The Insignia portable CD player is a bust. Let's see if this old answering machine is actually in this box. Power adapter, that's good. All right, it's almost like an unboxing. Now this is not new old stock. It does have some slight scratches here. Okay, hitting the power button, I'm getting a light. To fit the cassette in here, you have to push down on this release. All right, I'm now recording a memo using the answering machine here. So it seems to be recording memos. There is quite a bit of flutter on that recording. That's what telephones used to sound like. We'll see how many rings before it picks up. I am recording an announcement. This is me talking. I'm recording. All right. It seems to be working. I didn't have the announcement set quite right, but it is recording me over the phone line. So I'm going to go ahead and hang up and see if it plays back okay. And it's queued up now. I'm going to go to messages and I'm going to hit it queued up to the message. And it's playing back with the feedback and everything. I say that this old AT&T answering machine works. The next telephone device I want to try out is this music on hold adapter. It's in this blister package, but it's not the kind you have to cut into. I think this pops open. Okay. Here's the adapter itself. Here's where you feed the audio signal, telephone line, and then there's where you hook up the phone. To test the on-hold plus, I'm using my home phone here, my cell phone, and I have a working portable CD player hooked up to the on-hold plus through this connection right here. All right, I am now going to call my home phone from my cell phone. I picked up the home phone. I hear myself through both phones. All right, I'm going to click the hold button. I hear audio on both phones, both the home phone and the cell phone from the CD player. Now, something interesting is I can hear the voice from my home phone into the cell phone, but I cannot hear it the other direction. Now, if I hang up the home phone, the line is still active. I'm hearing music from the CD player on my cell phone. And you can see that that red light is lit. Now I cannot hang up this line by hitting this button. In order to hang up this line, I have to pick up the home phone, and now the music has stopped playing through both of these devices, and they're acting like normal telephones, and I can now hang up by hanging up the phone with this not lit. Now I don't have a second line to test out line 2. But on line 1, the on-hold plus is working. Next up is this Sherwood Equalizer. Let's go ahead and power it on. All right, I'm getting a hello on the LCD. That's a good sign. All right, there are some presets of heavy, classic, soft jazz, vocal, clear, visual, and I can go in and actually set some of these levels. I can actually scoot left and right using these buttons over here and boost bands or cut bands. And I am definitely hearing the difference on these speakers when I am making these adjustments. So the Sherwood Equalizer is working. All right, the next thing I want to check is this Samsung Blu-ray Player. I just plugged it in and I heard a noise and the tray opened up. Now this remote's for a different Samsung Blu-ray, but I want to see if it works. And it does. All right, here is the Blu-ray menu screen. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter for play movie. Play original version or enhanced version. I'm going to play the original version. It's taking a little bit of time here, but there it is. There's the movie. It is shot 3:4 ratio on this one, so these bars on the side are intentional. I'm checking to see if I can connect to a wired network, and it says I am connected to the internet, and it says the latest upgrade is already installed, so I don't have to do an upgrade on it. Might as well check YouTube while I'm at it. Right off the bat, there's a cat video, and we got an ad from YouTube, so it looks like YouTube is working. Otherwise that ad wouldn't be playing. Next up is a Rocketfish HDMI splitter. I will be splitting a 1080p signal, not a 4K. There's the input, there's the two outputs. It powers via micro USB, 5 volts. I'm running the signal out of the Samsung here into the Rocketfish, and I'm splitting it into 2 TV sets, and I'm getting a signal on both of them. So the Rocketfish HDMI splitter works. Next up is the Amazon Fire Stick that I found as kind of an extra bonus in the HDMI splitter box. I have the Fire Stick plugged in, but the remote for my other Fire Stick is not really working right now. I got to hold down this button that looks like a little house. Okay, and it says remote connected, network settings. All right, and now I am in the menu for my Amazon Fire Stick. The Amazon Fire Stick is working. The next thing I want to check is this Netgear USB adapter. First thing I need to do is make sure it's in this box. There's some software, instructions. There's the adapter. And it has a cradle with USB extension. I hope the computer detects this without me having to install any software. Well, it wasn't detected, so I'm going to try installing it from the CD. The Genie setup is installing. It says the Wi-Fi Netgear adapter is not found, so instead of using this cradle, let's hook the adapter up directly. Well, it is still not found, so the Netgear Wi-Fi adapter is a bust. Next up is this rather unusual looking device. It is an Audiotronics Tutorette 800B. I'm going to go ahead and power it on. This red light just came on. That's a good sign. When I'm hearing noise coming out of the speaker here, that's a good sign. There's a little microphone. Or you can plug in a microphone down here. It says mic and then it says headset. Now, I don't have any Tutorette cards, and this thing has a little head in here that reads a magnetic strip off the Tutorette cards. But I thought about it, and I have some old, expired credit cards, and these have a magnetic strip on them as well. So maybe I can listen to this magnetic strip. All right, so I was hearing noise when I ran a credit card through this slot. So I believe if I got some Tutorette cards, I could play them on this device. I'm going to say this device works. So if anyone knows where I can acquire some Audiotronics Tutorette cards, let me know in the comments. I would like to try this out for real. This is mounted on here with a specialty tool. I needed a T10 driver here to get this loose. I've saved the best for last, and I've set up a movie screen behind me to test the Dell video projector. First things first, let's plug it in. All right, I got some lights turning on here. I'm gonna hit the power button. It's making some noises. I've dimmed the lights, but you can see clearly that there's an upside down splash screen here. After tinkering around in the menu, I found the keystone setting. I found how to flip the screen from upside down to right side up, depending on how it's mounted. I found the audio settings, and this thing's working. It's working fine. It might not be as bright as I would like, but it's bright enough, and maybe a new lamp would make it brighter. I'm happy with this thrift store purchase. So quick recap. This is what worked and what didn't work on Risky Thrifting Volume 7. So 8 out of 10, that's not bad. It's better than I thought I was going to do. I look forward to reading your comments and seeing what you thought was going to work. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Thank you to my members and patrons for supporting this channel. And remember, stay thrifty, everyone.